Hey everyone, before I start this video, I just want to say that this video was extremely hard for me to make, I'm not gonna lie. So for Jeffree Star's video that he released where he's apologizing for his past actions, although that's all great and wonderful, I can't help but to feel like I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, wholeheartedly, that I am all for being a forgiving person, but that if you continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again, I don't think I could be so willing to forgive you so quickly. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Lux. In today's video, girl, we're talking about Jeffree Star video, girl. Alright, so here's the tea, girl. I feel Jeffree Star's finally had it up to here with all the drama of the past videos that he's made. So today he released a video where he was talking about his past, addressing all the rumors, addressing his truth of it all. And I started to watch the video, and you know me, girl, I was watching it from an editorial eye, and I was watching the video, his whole head was tilted like this. You know, it was like majority of the time in the video, his head was tilted to one side most of the time. Now, from what I remember about body language, it really shows that you're interested in what the person is saying or you care about what you're talking about. So that was really good. So I was like, all right. Then I started reading some of the comments in the video, and I was just shocked. I was shocked that he even made this video, girl. Because like I said, I thought he had too much pride and couldn't make it. And I could tell in the video that it was a hard video for him to make. He had a little Gucci sweater on. He had multiple cameras set up, girl. And it seemed like, from my opinion, he actually just ran through the video. Like, he was like, all right, let's do this. And he's put the camera up, hit record, and was just talking straight through. Because in some parts of the video, he kept saying some of the same things over and over. So it did not seem rehearsed. It did not seem scripted. It seemed real. And so I felt like, whoa. This is how you do it. And at one point of the video, he almost teared up. Like, look, he wanted to cry. And I was like, oh my God, here we go, girl. But he didn't do it. He didn't cry. Like, damn it. So I just feel like all this was just bottling up. He just finally released it. And a lot of people are questioning, like, well, why now? Well, why now? I think that Jeffree, if you keep in mind, his brother's boyfriend is no longer there in the house. And if you've been watching the Snapchats, he seems more happier, more free. And I think that he's finally growing up as a person and becoming full circle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how I can take it. So I was very impressed by the video. I feel like, but you know, there's always, but you already know there's conspiracies going on, girl. And one of the conspiracies is, you know, why would he put out this video days before his summer collection launches? And people were saying, PR stunt. Clock at the house. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. But at the same time, is it just good timing or is it just coincidence? So I was just kind of shocked about that whole entire thing. But most importantly, girl, I feel like we all have said things before that we don't want other people to know. I feel like we all have done and said things in the past. And I feel like if you haven't made mistakes in your past, then you should just talk about everybody you want to talk about them because you're just so perfect. But it's an issue for him because he lives his life on social media. Like, literally lives his life on social media. Like, I don't understand how some of these people Snapchat 24/7. I try to Snapchat, girl, but I just can't Snapchat as much as some of these people who live online. I'm like, damn, I barely keep up. So if you go to his video and you read the comments, girl, a lot of people were basically agreeing with what he says. It had a lot of thumbs up. No one called foul. To me, it was a good video. And I have to think to myself, well, what next, girl? What next, okay? If the general mass accepts your apology, good, okay? Sales will go up. You'll sell more makeup. You cleared your name. You confessed. You talked about it. You put your stuff out there. But the biggest issue is keep it up. You have to keep it up because if you continue to do some of the same things that you've been doing, then all this video was for nothing. So it really puts like bricks on your shoulder to be like, you know what? I look up to, people aspire to be like me. I need to act a certain way. And I feel like if you look at, because Jeffree Star is a CEO of Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. I said, you know, you don't ever see like the CEO of Apple or CEO of Coca-Cola. Or you don't ever see them on Twitter fighting with people or tweeting out all this drama. As Jeffree Star gets older, he'll stop so much like tweeting and just getting involved in just petty drama. Because what I liked about his video, he said that in a way that he's kind of like triggered sometimes, like he kind of feeds into it and he just fights anger with anger. And I always knew, but I've never ever was able to confirm it. I always knew that he had like an anger problem because he showed characteristics of having anger problems. And so when he said it in the video, I was like, I knew it. And so this all makes sense why sometimes he does really good and he just lashes out at somebody because it's just the anger problem. And I'm like, whoa. And all that stems from being young and gay and getting spit on and walking around with makeup. Like, it just all makes sense. And even that probably stems from just coming from like your parents raising you or them not being there or whatever. So, I mean, it's safe to say he had a pretty hard life growing up, and that's why he's done some of the stuff he's done. And so as you grow older, you have to face your skeletons in your closet. And this goes for everybody out there. You know what I'm saying? You're 18, 19, 17 years old, girl. You're out there. I don't get hair. It's my body. I do what I want. But you start doing all the stuff you want to do. But when you grow older and you're in your like 30s or you're 27, 28, all that stuff's going to come back to haunt you, girl. Especially now that there's cameras recording all the time. And there's pictures and stuff like that. Because back in the day, which I wasn't part of that time, but back in the day, there weren't no cell phones, so people do whatever they want to do, and they got away with a lot. You know, there was no receipts, you know what I'm saying? But now, there's receipts for everything. So watching the video, I accept the apology. I'm willing to move on and move forward and just keep it moving. I feel like some people are still going to be upset. I feel like some people are still not going to be happy with the video, because you know what? You can choose that. And that's okay if you feel that way. But I think the general people who watch his videos, the naysayers, I think most of them are ready to be like, all right, I accept it, let's move on now. And I'm really interested to see two things. What's gonna happen moving forward, and I hope that he doesn't make the same mistakes again. I feel like if people come for him on Twitter, let it go, let it go. You're so sickening the house, you don't gotta address it, you don't gotta address it. Do not clap back, because when you clap back, you're giving those people power. I felt the video was very sincere. I felt like it came from the heart. I didn't feel like it was staged, like I said again. Do people deserve second chances? That's something you have to ask yourself. I think some people deserve second chances. I don't believe all people deserve second chances. And if they continue to make the same mistake again and again and again, well, you know, that says something about themselves and less about you. And I think in this case, Jeffree Star deserves a second chance. I'm going to give him a second chance. I hope you are. I hope that the majority of the people who are mature enough to understand that what he did took balls, and it was brave to come out and face it. And like I said, there's always going to be people who are like, you know, it's not enough. It's not enough. I want more. I want more. It's not enough. But to me, it was enough. And I hope that for the majority of people watching my videos, that it was enough. That it was a good video. And I hope that you feel like you're ready to move on. Because I know that some people were hurt by those words. And I feel like this opens up the door to a group of people who don't even know that this type of stuff was going on with some of the stuff that he said in the past. And so with those people, they're going to find those videos, they're going to watch them, and they're going to get those anger feelings again. And hopefully they can understand where it's coming from. And I feel like a lot of people are going to be talking about this the next couple of days. Like little blogs, more videos will pop up talking about how they feel about it. And if they are willing to forgive Jeffree Star and move on. When I was watching the video, I was waiting for him to say, I'm sorry. And for the majority of the part, he never said it. But then toward the end, he said, I'm sorry. And I was like, you know what? Think that's what I was looking for. A lot of times people like to dissect how you say you're sorry. Like, oh, you said you were sorry, but you never said what you were sorry for. And it's just like, I think you have to understand that it's hard to even say you're sorry. A lot of people have these big egos, and they don't want to say they did anything wrong, or they don't want to step down and face it. They're like, oh, girl, not bother. But I have to actually really applaud Jeffree Star in this one. Will I be purchasing some in his summer collection? Yes, there are some things I do like. Do I need it? No, but I think it's fun. I love makeup. And I think this whole thing about him growing up, getting spit on, called names, that all makes sense, because I recently heard interview Chris Crocker, and he said the same thing, that he would leave clubs, be called names, be spit on, be made fun of. And I think that if you were a kid growing up when Jeffree Star was growing up, because people did make fun of you for wearing makeup or being feminine and stuff like that. It wasn't celebrated. It wasn't like a cool thing. Now the kids who are growing up who wear makeup and heels and walk around really feminine, I mean, they're almost celebrated in some places, but back then it just wasn't a thing. And so I think you also have to look at that and where that anger came from. But I think moving forward, to end the video, I feel like Jeffree Star really, if he hasn't already, who knows, really should spend some time in anger management, spend some time in counseling, and overall just seem a better person, because he seems like he's in the right direction, because he seems like he's in love. He seems extremely happy. I know when someone's faking happiness and when someone is truly happy. And I feel like Jeffree Star is truly happy, and I feel like he's in the best place in his life that he's ever been. And I think he should capitalize on that and make it better, and get help from a therapist so he can control some of these angers. And sometimes it might mean medication, it might not need a medication, but I feel like all that stuff was a cry for help, he's lucky enough. Jeffree Star is so lucky to find happiness because a lot of people do not find it at his age. They continue the anger, they continue to feed the flames, and then overall, you're only hurting yourself. And a lot of times when people act like that and they're lashing out at people for no apparent reason, like, I haven't done anything to you, why are you lashing at me? It's a call for help. They're hurting people. They are hurting inside. And when you're hurting inside, hurting people hurt people. But I appreciate you watching my video. Smash that like button. Please let me know how you feel about the video. I'll see you next one. Peace.